from Cowan, we have CEO Jeffrey Solomon, who will be joining us by live stream later. And with that, we're happy to kick this off.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm very excited and proud to be here in Moorhead today to tour AppHarvest's main controlled environment agricultural facility. This is a technological marvel that is feeding America and creating the jobs of the future right here in Eastern Kentucky. AppHarvest is sustainably growing nutritious organic tomatoes and other produce using the most advanced technology available. From Silicon Valley to Wall Street, experts with an eye on the future are watching what's happening right here. As it comes to agritech, at least in part, Kentucky and Eastern Kentucky are the center of the universe, as AppHarvest redefines how we feed a growing world, along with how the world views Appalachia. They are literally writing the book on how this gets done right here. Jonathan used a phrase earlier that we've had to use in addressing COVID, and that we're building the plane while we're flying it. Well, if that's the case, AppHarvest is building the most sophisticated plane ever in existence and constantly working to improve it. I'm here today with Rocky Atkins, my senior advisor on all things, but especially on all things Eastern Kentucky. There is no better advocate for this region, and there is no one who believes that a brighter future is more possible than Rocky, and his hard work makes it happen. Showing us around today are so many amazing AppHarvest employees and advisors, but I'm proud to be here with my friend Jonathan Webb, AppHarvest founder and CEO. We are proud that he is the son of the Commonwealth and a proud UK graduate. He is providing the vision and the know-how that's redefining, again, how we feed a growing world, but I think he has also created what will be the anchor for so much economic development, for so many jobs of the future right here and right now. You know, I remember, though I was still fairly young, but because my dad was in the lieutenant governor's office at the time, when we brought a little company called Toyota to Kentucky, and everything changed. The economy changed, the jobs available changed. I believe that we are living that right now, and it's occurring in Eastern Kentucky. Now my visit today is a long time coming. You all know how careful I have been in trying to set the example in how we protect our people from COVID-19. I wanted to be here late in October when this amazing facility went fully operational. But if you remember, I was actually in quarantine, trying to do the right thing and set that example. I wanted to come out when AppHarvest broke ground on 2 other facilities, but I know there is more to come. I wanted to be here just a few weeks ago when the first AppHarvest tomatoes were boxed up and were sent to groceries across the United States. And just last week, Jonathan and company leaders got to ring the opening bell for AppHarvest's wildly successful debut on the NASDAQ Stock Exchange. We have another publicly traded company in Kentucky thanks to this wonderful operation. So there is a lot to celebrate. And I am so excited to finally be here to say congratulations, well done. This Commonwealth is so proud, but also so supportive of everything this whole community is doing. Jonathan talked to me as we were walking through about, yes, there are outside investors, and they're very important. Yes, there are people that were brought in, and they're very important. But the reality that without this community, without Moorhead, without friends like Jerry and so many others that are out there, without our universities and their support, this wouldn't be possible. But I don't think I'm telling people in Eastern Kentucky anything new, because they come together to get the job done, to protect one another, and to provide for one another. And I think that this is just a first in what we can look for as we are gradually able to resume normal activities, as we see the light at the end of the tunnel in defeating this pandemic. Right now, we are vaccinating more people every week than we get doses from the federal government. And what that means is when supply is available, we will defeat this virus. We will come out on the other side. But until then, do what you have seen here in the facility. Remain vigilant. Until everybody is vaccinated, People are still at risk, so please wear your mask, wash your hands. They do so much more here, and they're setting such a great example. And I think Jonathan could attest that when you follow all the rules, when you create the right culture, when you talk about how it protects the coworker next to you, you can really reduce the amount of transmission of a very aggressive virus. Now, for decades, we've heard a lot of folks, including many politicians, speak about the urgent need for us to fulfill our duty to the people of Appalachia, to honor the legacy and labor of generations of service here, and to provide a way forward to people that haven't seen the opportunity that they deserve in far too long. While well-intentioned, much of that has amounted to little more than lip service. Well, take a look around. This isn't just talk. Most sophisticated operation of its kind, I believe, in the entire world is right here in Eastern Kentucky. One of the largest buildings, I believe, in the world is right here in Eastern Kentucky. One of, if not the most sophisticated LED lighting system in the world is right here in Eastern Kentucky. No more lip service. Truly an opportunity to lead in this country and around the globe. And while this is a Kentucky project, it has truly global reach. And as AppHarvest sprints out ahead, they're reaching back to pull the Commonwealth with us. Just over the summer, we were able to announce an international agreement with 16 other partner organizations, including the Dutch government. And we established an Agritech Advisory Council to guide the Commonwealth to make sure that AppHarvest is not the only opportunity, and we have already seen results from that. But this shows you the spirit of the Commonwealth: innovation and a new optimism. Something like COVID-19 changes the world and changes our economy forever. It is going to look at least a little bit different, regardless of how much we want to come back to normal. But I see that as an opportunity to change the trajectory of Kentucky and to do it with something we share with urgency. Not something that we want to happen in 10 or 20 years as we slowly plod forward, but making those explosive leaps, making those decisions that require courage, seeing ahead and never being satisfied because that next family needs that next great job. I'm seeing a big, bright future for Kentucky, and AppHarvest is leading the way. And as they're doing it, and I know there's going to be a little bit of an announcement here, they're bringing along the next generation too. With programs in our high schools all across Eastern Kentucky, programs with our universities. That AppHarvest is not just thinking about the next crop, even though you just have your first one going out. They're thinking about their next generation of workers and what this region will look like when they truly reach their peak, which I don't think you ever want to reach. But AppHarvest's vision is bigger than itself. The thing that impresses me most about this company is they're not just trying to advance their company. And sometimes some of the proposals or the way they reach out may even create competitors. But they believe in this industry. They believe in feeding the people of America with clean, efficient, nutritious produce. And they believe in bringing more jobs to this part of our great state because it's the right thing to do. So today, we get to celebrate a company doing the right thing, creating our future, and moving us forward. So if I can, I'm so excited to introduce my friend and a true visionary, Jonathan Webb.
Thank you. This has been a very challenging year for many people, not only in this community, but around the country and around the globe. And as a Kentuckian, we all love the place we're from. I don't know if it's in the water or what it is, but it's something special about Kentucky. The ingenuity, the tenacity, the faith, the grit that drives this region has been absolutely remarkable over the last 12 months here in Moorhead. What we've been able to accomplish in the middle of a global pandemic is nothing short of miraculous, and that is because of all of us working together. It's bigger than any one person. Governor, I would say it's bigger than any political party, left or right. We're working to rebuild and redefine American agriculture. We want to get the harsh chemical pesticides out of food. We believe if you put food on the table for your family as a mother or father, you shouldn't have to worry about chemicals on that fresh fruit or vegetable. We have to use far less land and far less water to grow a lot more food in the years ahead. We had the UN here, Governor. Again, I'm a product of, graduated from public schools in Kentucky, and I went to the University of Kentucky. The fact that I was a part of a UN meeting for the first UN Security Council coming to Kentucky was pretty shocking to me and my family. But what we heard in that day is by 2050, the world needs 50 to 70% more food. The way we're currently growing it today, we would need up to 2 planet Earths to feed 9 billion people and a rising middle class globally. Our region is leading. You know, we've tried to say the last great revolution, the technological revolution in American agriculture was the tractor. Now you're going to see farms that you operate with an iPhone and iPad. You're using software and big data. You're using AI to predict the climate. This is farming. We try to say not farming in the future. We're in the future. You're looking at it right now. This is farming. It's no longer far off in the distant. It's today. And with that, you know, we as a company, I'm very fortunate that our investors early on didn't just allow me to invest in a company. We're a B Corp and a public benefit corporation. Governor, is a company headquartered not only in Kentucky, but focused on the eastern part of Kentucky. We're one of the few single-digit, there's only a handful, 2 or 3, publicly traded companies that is a public benefit corporation and a B Corp. It means I don't just have fiduciary responsibility to our investors and shareholders. I'm allowed to look out and invest in community. We're allowed to invest in education. We're allowed to invest in the environment if we believe it builds the long-term ecosystem we need for the company. We as a company, I've told our investors, don't invest if you just want to get on quarterly earning calls and talk about profit. We're talking about impact. And the profitability will follow over time. This facility, we're competing with agriculture in Mexico where children are working, they're getting paid $5 a day, and they're using illegal chemicals. In this facility, we're redefining a lot, but one thing we're redefining is the dignity of work in agriculture. And we want people to feel proud of what we produce. But if we're going to say we're going to prop up the essential worker, then let's make sure everybody has health care. In this facility, as a company, every employee has full health care. Their families have full health care. We're making sure everybody in the facility has a living wage. And happy to announce today something that's very important to us is education. And we're creating educational pathways not only for our employees, but we've set a target to be at 20 high schools in eastern Kentucky. Right. And with that, today, I think we've got students from Rockcastle County watching. We're excited to be at Rockcastle County soon. We're going to be putting a container farm where you can grow veggies, leafy greens with an iPhone using LED lights. It's nearly a $100,000 investment of physical equipment. We believe in you. You are our future. You know, me, people like the governor, political leaders in Frankfurt, we're going to come and go. You're the leader. This is your state. It's your region. And to my friends in Boston or New York or San Francisco that moved out of Kentucky, it's time to come home. It's time to come home. It's something special going on, Governor, right now. We've got political leaders on both sides of the aisle. We've got people watching us around the world. I can tell you our team feels the pressure. We know we have a lot to live up to. But the only way it's going to be possible is with the next generation. Let's prioritize getting technology into high schools so that young people know how to operate these facilities. And to my friends that moved out of this state, it's time to come home. With that, I'll name one more thing here to let you know the scale in which we're operating at. We just opened a few weeks ago and shipped our first tomatoes. Within a few weeks, we've already got 1 million pounds of tomatoes into major grocers in 10 or 12 different states. I've got people calling us down in Florida. I've got people calling up in Detroit. The impact of what we're doing here is not just an economic benefit. the health benefit of what this region is going to be a part of pushing out hundreds of millions of pounds of fresh fruits and vegetables into American cities, it's something we can all be proud of. It's bigger than any one of us. It's definitely bigger than one organization. It's going to be a massive team effort, and I know you all use the slogan Team Kentucky.
Yes, sir.
Now's the time coming out of COVID. In the coming months, Team Kentucky, we need to all be on the same page. Governor, we appreciate your commitment, your conviction to this mission. We look forward to working with you. We look forward to working with any political leader of any side of the aisle, whether you're new, an incumbent. This is a big table, and the wonderful thing about food, we all eat. We all share a meal. So let's just put more chairs at the table, extend the table, and keep inviting everybody. No matter your background, no matter where you're from, this is a big table. Not one of us is going to solve it. Our organization has got a big spotlight on us right now. How can we share that spotlight around in order to rebuild American agriculture? Thank you, Governor. Thank you for your commitment to this part of the state. Thank you for your commitment to this industry. And we look forward to working with every leader across the state as we build and grow this industry in the years to come. Thank you.
And now we're going to hear from our partner, Cowan, and Jeffrey Solomon, who is working with us in partnership to do the AgriTech Container Outreach Program.
Much for including me today. Governor, it's a real pleasure to be a part of this event, and it's a real pleasure, Jonathan, to be involved with you. You are special, and I think we saw that at Cowan early on in our engagement, and just the way you think about running your business and the way that you have committed yourself to community, it speaks volumes. You know, we began our relationship with AppHarvest as a financial advisor, and we really learned in our conversation with you that the company is special and the leadership team are special. And for those of you that don't know us well, sustainability is actually a cornerstone of what we do at Cowan. It's one of our 4 core values. We have a strong desire to make a broad positive impact within our firm and in our industry and in the communities where we live and work, and among the companies we do business with and in their communities. And we can see that AppHarvest was a cutting edge agricultural technology company rooted in that sustainability, and it really stood to advance a sector that will ultimately struggle to meet the food needs of our nation, while concurrently delivering on critical tenets of a desire by the population to achieve real advancements in ag tech that can reduce the sector's impact on our shared environment. It does check a lot of boxes for a lot of people, but it's really about the people of Eastern Kentucky. And we appreciate the fact that AppHarvest has a vision of building a more resilient economy in Eastern Kentucky and in Appalachia, creating not just jobs, but a new industry for the region. At Cowan, we believe that the way forward for American innovation is going to be fostered in part by getting capital that resides at the coasts to invest in innovation and economic development in America's heartland. And when we're successful in doing so, it is equally important that we reinvest in the communities where that growth is occurring. That's why when we are extremely proud to be a partner with AppHarvest and the Commonwealth of Kentucky to bring cutting edge agricultural practices into the classroom of Eastern Kentucky, in high schools, providing students with a foothold into one of the fastest growing business segments in the United States and all over the world. You know, as someone who grew up in the shadow of old rusted out steel mills in Pittsburgh in the late 1970s and early 80s, I know firsthand the challenges of living in a community where, honestly, where I grew up, 1 in 5 people were unemployed, and it was not a happy time in the late 70s and early 80s. But I also know that firsthand that access to education and training is a roadmap to generating the true hubs of commercial and social success for the region long term. I watched it work for my community in Pittsburgh, and I know it can work here too. And so for Cowan, this is our first step in a partnership with AppHarvest and with the state of Kentucky to provide capital that can support the deployment of 2 additional growing systems and training resources to the high schools you mentioned, Jonathan. And we are very proud to be in a position where we can do that. We look forward to advancing our partnership. This is not one and done. We want to be as much a part of the community as we can be. I look forward to eating our first AppHarvest tomatoes when they get to New York. And most importantly, we look forward to sharing our common goals and having a deeply positive impact on the communities in which AppHarvest operates today and in the future. So looking forward to a bright tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow with all of you. Thank you for including me in this wonderful day.
After this session about the impact of the AppHarvest outreach program. And with that, questions for the governor and Mr. Ware?
I'll go first.
Gil.
Yeah, good to finally meet you in person. We met on Friday. With this, how many schools in Kentucky have one of these container farms?
Amy, with the 2 additional, how many are we at now? I think it's 6. At 6, our goal is to be at 20. This started a year and a half ago, and we think is a model for the country, really. Our company invested in these containers and put them at the schools. We would hope our lawmakers in DC and the federal delegation believe that putting technology in schools for young people to have a skill to learn to grow fruits and vegetables, but then they're able to take those leafy greens. These are schools that, some kids go home hungry at night. Well, great. Let's let them grow their own food in a high-tech environment. Take the greens home at night, put them in the cafeteria. It's a win, 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 win. When you look at the ROI on a dollar, you're trying to squeeze how much impact can you get out of that $1? And by putting technology at high schools, allowing people to get a skill set, and then putting a good, healthy product into those communities, it's a real winner that we're going to be a part of no matter what. Our company wants to get 20 containers at 20 high schools. I believe we're at 6 right now. And then we hope that this is a model for the entire U.S. where you have food insecurity all across the U.S. Let's teach our young people what farming of tomorrow looks like, and let's let them take good, healthy fruits and vegetables home with them at night.
And look at what we've just been through when we think about COVID. We now know our kids are going to have to be more technologically savvy than we could have ever thought for their current education, but for their future. And the more technology we introduce them to, the better prepared they are, regardless of what field they go into. We've seen a challenge with getting food to our kids that need it in times of pandemic. This directly addresses it while getting the kids involved in it. We've seen disruption to our food supply chain. This is not just what you see and hear, but teaching a future generation how to respond to that. This isn't just an incredible idea about where we're going. It's directly impacting us now at a time when we need that help the most.
I have a question for you, Governor. I think you said this is literally the first time you've been here.
This is the first opportunity that I've had. Jonathan and I have been working together on everything from the agreement with the Dutch government to trying to make parts of this a reality, but this is the first opportunity I've had to tour the facility.
Give me some adjectives, okay?
Huh.
When you walked in and saw those gazillion tomatoes, what was your first reaction?
Incredible. We're staring at the future, and it's here. I know Jonathan said that earlier. We're standing in one of the most technologically advanced buildings in the world, right here in Eastern Kentucky. Exciting, truly exciting, innovative, and you can sense the urgency as you look through it. The urgency to actually grow what's being grown, but the urgency to improve the systems that are already cutting edge. All of that is really exciting, and I see potential. So much potential, even more potential than one of the largest buildings in the world, which we're standing in, and that's thrilling.
Yeah, with that potential, let's keep in mind, we have another facility of this size under construction right now near Eastern Kentucky University. We're building a leafy green facility near Berea College that'll be one of the largest in the world. We've got several other universities in the room with us today, fully committed to building out the ecosystem of the industry. And as part of us going public, we announced that our plan is to build 12 facilities by 2025. So we're moving, the progress is happening, and it's far beyond just Morehead. Morehead is our flagship, it's our home, it's always going to be a home and a special place that that's going to drive this industry, but it's far beyond Moorhead, and we're actively out there right now already building out front our next few facilities.
Can you just expand upon how you think this will impact Eastern Kentucky, job-wise, financially? Just what benefit does this place bring being here, headquartered here?
So the one thing the governor and other political leaders in the state have really started to see with us, it's far more than just building facilities. That's what we're doing at AppHarvest. We're building controlled environment agriculture facilities to grow fruit and vegetables. But to be abundantly clear, we don't want to stop there. We want the LED lighting manufacturer coming here.
Yes, we do.
We want the AI and robotics companies coming here.
Yes, we do.
We want that flywheel and ecosystem, and our investors, Steve Case, the founder of AOL, has been very helpful with me personally. You look at clusters in the world of industry, and they feed on each other. This needs to be an industry-wide effort that is bigger than any one company and is driving the whole ecosystem. If you have any questions about that, feel free to ask any of our university presidents. You know, Moorhead State University, the University of Pikeville, Berea College, Eastern Kentucky University, and the University of Kentucky all went to the Netherlands with us. So they're moving. It's an educational ecosystem with other companies, and it's a far more larger impact than just one company building facilities.
And start with the fact that we have 300 high-tech jobs here in Eastern Kentucky, paying a living wage, paying full benefits on health insurance, which I believe is a basic human right, not taking up wastewater, doing so many incredible things, but it starts with the incredible jobs that are right here, and knowing with 2 other facilities being able to be built out, how many more there'll be. But then AppHarvest has a gravity. And when you think about Toyota, it had a gravity. It brought suppliers to it. It brought other people involved in the chain that it takes to get these tomatoes ultimately out to the grocery store. And that's exactly what we want to foster. Everything that goes into making this operation, we want to have in Kentucky.
Yeah, so we, building the plane as we fall, so to speak, we went ahead and planted in half the facility. We've been planting in the other half of the facility, but we're constantly modifying. And I said to the governor earlier, you know, we at AppHarvest, if you walk in one facility and they look alike, then, you know, find another CEO. My job is to make sure that every facility is innovating and we're constantly changing. And one way to be able to do that is to not just be the only company here doing this. Mm-hmm. We need all these other companies in Holland. There's 10,000 companies in the Netherlands that support this industry. That's a country a third the size of Kentucky. You could fit the whole country into Eastern Kentucky. So we might not get 10,000 companies here, but we can get a handful of some of the biggest and brightest to come with us. And that's where this conversation with our political leaders here is about the ecosystem. Our company has our trajectory, and we're on a good glide path, but we're not stopping there. We want to see the whole ecosystem come around us.
And it's a high priority for us. You see so many people chasing relationships with just a couple of countries. This is an opportunity for Kentucky to have a special relationship with the Dutch government, and we're working every day to build that out. Jonathan has been an exceptional partner in that. And I think once we are able to travel, you'll see Kentucky's governor right over there doing everything we can to bring these jobs here.
Okay, we've got time for one more question.
Can I ask you? Okay, ultimately, how many schools do you want to reach?
Well, we are starting in our community, and we want to reach 20 high schools in Eastern Kentucky. But I can assure you, from the White House to Congress and Senate, we're pounding the pavement in D.C. saying every young person in America deserves the right to have the tools for tomorrow and have technology, and deserves the right to be able to grow fruits and vegetables and take them home. I think this is a model for the country. I mean, we're not stopping. We've got NBA player Blake Griffin as an investor. We've got Martha Stewart on our board. Yes, we want this region to lead, but we think this can be a model for the U.S. Put technologies in high schools, let young people grow, and let them take that food home with them and put it in the cafeteria. It's a win-win-win, and we're gonna get it right here. We're gonna prove to people it's successful, and then what does the big picture look like? You know, somebody tell me how many high schools there are in the U.S. That's where we'll stop.
Yeah, and if
Well, Governor, we've talked a lot about it. I mean, it's bigger than any of us in this room. We're building the infrastructure, but we need young people driving the industry. And it's all about our youth, and we need our best and brightest staying in Kentucky. We need our best and brightest outside of the Kentucky coming back home. But starting at the high school level, many of the university leaders I've talked to, you don't just wake up one day and go, I want to be a doctor, or I want to be a lawyer, or I want to be an accountant. You've got to create pathways that start early, really in 8th or 9th grade. You don't just wake up and all of a sudden end up with a PhD. So our universities, thankfully, are leading, creating curriculum at the top. But we need to get to young people now, get technologies in classrooms, and then frankly, not everyone might go to a college, and that's fine. My parents have high school degrees. Great. So let's just at least make sure that young people have the skills they need, so when they get out of school, if they choose to go to higher education, great. If they don't, and they just have that high school degree, at least they have enough skills to be prepared to drive this industry forward with us.
I was just thinking and I close with this as you were talking. I mean, we're both 43. We both left Kentucky for at least a little while, and we're both back, which is what we want for everybody else. I mean, we're seeing an opportunity here that we always dreamed of, that every opportunity you could want in Kentucky, every single one is right here at your fingertips. If you choose to go away, we want you to come back. But we should never let the need for opportunity drive you out of this state.
That's right.
Can I ask a legislative question?
One, and then we got to run.
One, okay, I promise. House Bill 258, are you familiar with that?
You're going to have to fill me in. The numbers,
Yeah, they all start running.
yeah, every year.
It's from Representative Massey in regards to the teacher pension system. It puts new hired teachers in a hybrid.
Right.
Supporters tell me that we need to do something different because the state cannot continue to put money into this system for so many years. Is that true?
I believe that bill is a pay cut to our teachers at a time when we need more and more qualified and bright young people to go into teaching. What it does is it significantly cuts the major benefit that can encourage people to become new teachers. Our teachers don't get Social Security, and without having a guaranteed pension that steps in where Social Security is, it's going to be less advantageous to go into teaching. We can afford our pension systems. It is a long-term fix where we do it by being committed, by paying in year after year after year what it takes. This year in my budget, we fully fund all of our pension systems, and we have an extra $600 million to invest. It tells you it's doable.
So if it reaches your desk, it's going to be redone.
We'll respond when and if it comes to the desk.
Okay, fair enough.